Hi, guys. Welcome back to the podcast. So, today I want to talk to you about how to collapse your timeline, the greatest possible hack to close the gap between what you want and how to get that. Oftentimes, we understand the concept of asking for help. I think the majority of us who have grown up unto ourselves and realize that one of the best things to do is to be humble enough, to be open enough to ask someone for help. And maybe we're doing that. Maybe we have opened ourselves to that level of vulnerability and that level of willingness to say, I don't know everything. And I am not I'm not an island. I am a person surrounded by other humans who have different talents, capabilities, insights, and gifts to give me. And so when we come to life like that, when we welcome life with that idea, we more likely and more willingly ask for help in our lives in all kinds of scenarios and situations. And we give that person an opportunity to be a giver, to be a sharer, to give what they have. And that's a beautiful cycle of giving and receiving that we should constantly be part of throughout our lives. But I'm going to talk today a little bit more about when it's time to hire help, when it's time to invest in our growth. And that might be looking for someone who does it professionally, who can extend help in a professional way where we can reciprocate it through monetary means and value what they have to offer on this earth through their talents, their gifts, and their chosen career and fields. Now, I know that the greatest life hack on this planet is not really a gadget. It's not an app. It's not the shortcut you can buy like on a shelf or anything. It's this fact of knowing when it's time to truly invest in ourselves by seeking help. So if you think about a coach, a therapist, a mentor, a trainer, a nutritionist, these are people who've already walked the path, who can help you close the gap between where you are and where you want to be. But oftentimes we hesitate. Why do we hesitate? We tell ourselves, I should be able to figure this out on my own. I could do this on my own. Or we fear spending or investing that money and thinking, how about if it doesn't work? How about if that investment wasn't worth it? That time, that money that I put into this idea of asking for help was a waste of time. But what if I tell you the real risk is wasting months, maybe even years in spinning your wheels? And I've seen this before where people hesitate for so long, knowing that they've kind of capped out at their own potential or all the tools that are available to them, and they're still not seeing the growth that they want. That's a clear sign of when it's time to consider investing in yourself, right? That's one of the signs. You've been trying the same thing over and over, but nothing's changing. You know exactly what you should be doing, but you're not doing it, which means that's not necessarily a knowledge gap. It's really an accountability gap. You might be stuck in cycles of self-sabotage or burnout, or maybe you just feel too far away from that goal. It seems too big and you don't know how to take the first steps to get to that big goal that you see that's so far away. The impact of hiring the right help is massive. A coach can collapse your timeline. What might take you 2 years, they can help you accomplish in 6 months. A therapist can help you untangle patterns that you've been carrying for decades. And I'm going to give you an example. That was probably one of my first investments as an adult was to hire a therapist. Before that was to hire a trainer because I knew I was stuck with my fitness goals. And I know I needed someone to take me to the next level with the knowledge that they had, because people are oftentimes 10 steps ahead of us and have accumulated through their own experiences, their expertise, their education, all these things combined, that they now can guide us where we have blind spots. They can see the clear path where we can't understand how to get there. They lay out steps that make sense to us. So another example was hiring my therapist a few years back, and she was truly a gift from God for me. She was exactly what I needed at the time, and she helped me truly untangle patterns that were there for years and that I felt were blocks in my life. And it was the most beautiful thing to have her unravel and help me and guide me through this process. And it was a gift, a true gift that then helped me show up to life, show up to my relationships, see the world in different eyes, and use the tools that I already had, who I am already. And she was able to just discover deeper things and allow me to live in with that knowledge. And that I maybe, of course, I absolutely would have eventually figured out those things. I absolutely would have come to terms with things possibly slowly through life experiences, through continuing to journal. And the most important thing, I know that God would have had the patience enough to slowly inject that truth and those bits of light and knowledge that I would need to unravel those patterns that were still inside of me. I have zero doubt. But God also uses people on this earth and has given people very specific talents and abilities so we can help each other during this path on earth. And I feel my therapist was extremely gifted in this, and seeing the person as a whole and seeing where you're stuck and allowing you to see it through your own eyes. She helped me walk through these things and allowed me to have my own moments of light, my own moments of revelation where I can see truth. And truly, I feel like because of that investment, I collapsed time. I got to certain places in my personal development faster. And this is what trainers and coaches and mentors can do. When you have a mentor around you, they can help save you from making mistakes. A trainer and a nutritionist can take away the guesswork. You might be spinning your wheels and thinking what diet and when, and should I diet now? Should I be eating this amount of food? Or why is this food doesn't feel good to my body, but others do this? There's so much information out there. I've been a nutrition coach. I am a certified personal trainer. I have seen the beauty in people saying, I need help, and hiring those and investing, whether 6 months, a year, 4 years with a trainer, whatever it is, to become independent enough to then move on to a next stage and level in their life. It doesn't mean that these people that we hire are hired indefinitely, although I know that the top most successful people on this planet are consistently asking for help and consistently have mentors and coaches and therapists and people around them that they hire and that they use for accountability, for insight, for feedback on their business, personal life, financial life, health, fitness, mental health, all these areas. And you might have different phases and stages in your life where you will be pulling from different types of help, different types of investment for your future, because we are multidimensional. But if you want the quickest way to move forward and to grow in life, it's by hiring help and extending that idea that, yes, you can't do everything on your own. You're not just buying expertise. You're truly just buying back your time, your energy, and your freedom. You're saying, I don't have to do this alone. And the truth is that we are never meant to do this alone. So here's my encouragement for you today. Don't wait until you're drowning to reach out. Don't hesitate to invest in yourself. A lot of that money that you might be fearing that you can't right now, obviously be wise. I'm not saying get into debt and sell your house or, create instability in your home. But I promise you that that money and that you set aside for this investment that you so desperately know you need, that you so desperately want, and you can feel it in your bones that this is time, and you've tried everything else, that investment, the return of it is tenfold. And you will never regret, like I have never regretted, investing in any of my coaches throughout the last several years. It has been some of the best experiences of my life, which I am so grateful for. Each and every one of those individuals who've had different talents, abilities, insights to give me on my path. And I am where I am today. I am the person I am today because they guided me through certain phases of my life. And so here's a simple life hack: ask for help, because the best version of you is on the other side of the right support. Till next time, my friends, hopefully this helped you. Go ahead and invest in yourself. I promise you will not regret it.